My name is Willie Thomas from Atlanta, Georgia. Good to be here with you all today. I have something to talk to you all. I think it's kind of very important. Again, I'm bringing you all Pastor Gino Jennings. He preaching about Satan, homosexual, Adam and Eve, all sorts of things. I want the viewers to look at this for themselves. I want you all to compare this. Look at it with an open mind. And tell me yourself, do you think this a man ordained by God to preach this gospel to the people out here on this earth? We have to be very careful about people like this. I'm telling you, you have to be very careful because they cunning, they slick. They know what to say to you all to get your undivided attention. He really should be a motivational speaker than a pastor because he know how to play with a person's mind. Now I'm going to let him come on, and I'm going to let y'all listen to it for a few minutes. Then I'll come on and comment on some things he said.
Hardcore, bare-knuckle talk. Because you don't like to speak out against nothing. Especially one of your own. One entertainer said, I don't speak out against no man the way he make money. Two things is being promoted from this homosexual Satanist. Yeah. But more than two things. The hate for God, one. The love for Satan, two. Then, come on, brother, move quick. The endorsement of homosexuality, three. So, this young, no more than maybe 19, 20, 21, 22, homosexual who will prance around. And then, while I was in the barbershop, they showed the letter that a 14-year-old boy sent them, applauding him for his video and sneakers, and saying, you make young people like me proud to come out of the closet. Word of God said, God is not mocked. Satan is worshipped in the earth more than God. Are you listening? Satan is respected more, worshipped more, honored more, praised more than God. Because the religion of men promote Satan's agenda. God's agenda is all wrapped with scripture. Satan's agenda used scripture to hide his real agenda. You know, like a man gets dressed up like a woman to hide the fact he's a man. So you got these weak preachers like Jakes who says churches have their own philosophy about homosexuality. Jakes was asked, can the church and homosexuality coexist? He said, well, certainly they can exist. There are many ways to get to God. You know you're going to hell. many ways to get to God. Jesus said,
Now I want to stop it right here. I want to comment on a couple of things he said. Number one, he talking about homosexual. Number two, he talking about in so many words, this came from Satan, the homosexual and stuff like that. Now, Augustine, he another world-renowned preacher that he talking about, who's saying that he don't see no problem with people being homosexual and stuff like that, okay? Now, Gino have a problem with homosexual because he said it did not come from God, okay? Now, this is what I want to say, right? God created both male and female. That's all God created, male and female. Now, if a male want to deal with the same sex, he's still a male. He's still a male. Ain't nothing unchanged. I don't care if he have his private part cut off or whatever. If he came in the world a man, nothing of the design of his body will ever change. He will always be a man, okay? Same way with a woman. If a woman who want to be dealing with the same sex, want to deal with a female, and get stuff added on to her body, she's still a female. Nothing from her body, the way it was created from God, would never change, okay? I don't care if people add on, take off, or whatever. Whatever God allowed you to come in the world, that's what you are. Now, I like to put my input on what he's saying about homosexuals, okay? Don't have no problem with. I'm a heterosexual guy. Always been a heterosexual guy. Always like a female. That's what I like, okay? Now, I can't get mad at a next man if he preferred the same sex. I can't get mad at the next woman if she preferred the same sex. It's almost going into a restaurant, right? You got steak on the menu, you got chicken on the menu, you got seafood on the menu, and you got we'll say plant food on the menu, right? Each person going to each person going to restaurant entitled to eat from that menu whatever they like. Just because I eat steak or I eat chicken, that don't mean that everybody who sit down got to eat steak and chicken. Everybody's totally different. So this he lose me right here with this, right? He's supposed to be a man of God. He should glorify whatever God created here on this world. Whatever they want to be, he should stand by it 100% because God created, not Gino, not nobody else. Here go Gino again, you all.
I am the way, not we are. I am. While our children are lost, wandering, like Cain, vagabond mentality, vagabond heart, a vagabond way of thinking. So they wander from group to group. And each group they wander to, that group feed them with more and more ideas from hell. Viewers, scientists and doctors say that children are born gay. Are you listening to the old man? We debunk that theory.
That's right.
I challenge any scientist and any doctor on the planet. Because there's only one creator.
That's right.
I said one.
That's right.
Give me the book of Malachi now. Move fast.
Chapter 2 and verse 10.
Listen at this.
Have we not all one Father?
Have we not all one Father?
Hath not one God created us?
Hath not one God created us? Hold it. The homosexual said, I agree with that, Pastor Jennings. He said, hath not one God created us? That includes me. No, it don't.
No, it
For
don't.
now, I have to go to God's creation.
Matthew chapter 19 and at verse 4.
You see, I got to strike this out with Bible.
That's right. That's right.
Let's show you what God made.
Matthew 19.
What God made.
That's right.
Listen.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 4.
Said what?
And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read
Have you not read
that he
that God,
which made them at the beginning,
which made them
at the beginning, made them male,
and
female,
transgender,
made them
then
male.
female.
Have you not read that?
Wait. Ain't transgender somewhere in there?
No, I don't see that word, Pastor.
You better give chapter and verse and read it again.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read
Have you not read
that he
which
made them
made them
at the beginning,
in the beginning,
made them male
made them male
and female?
and female.
Amen.
So then, the male was Adam, the female was Eve.
That's right.
And if God made them at the beginning, to all homosexuals, who made you?
He made you.
If you're a man, God made you a man.
That's right. And God said,
Homosexuality doesn't start with your anatomy.
no.
Homosexuality starts with the change of a mind.
That's right.
And the change of a heart. Let me strike this out with detail.
Amen.
First chapter of the book of Romans.
In the book of Romans chapter 1. And we'll start reading.
Change, listen at the language of what I'm saying.
Yes.
Change of mind and change of heart. If I'm a man, then I am a product of the true creation of God.
That's right.
I am made in God's image.
That's right.
I am made in God likeness.
That's right.
So when God made man in his image and in his likeness, not only do we bear the shape of God, but he put his character within man.
Right.
And the character of God within man bears the title He.
That's right.
I have to certify as I go
In
down.
the book of Joshua chapter 1, we'll start at verse 1.
Says what?
And God said, Let us make man in our image,
Let's make man in our image,
after our likeness.
after our likeness.
And God created man in his own.
God.
Hi. I like to comment on what he just saying. Now he reading this out the Bible. He's saying that God say, let us make man out our own likeness and out our own image, right? But that book did not come from the creator, it came from man. Man here on earth always like to exalt themselves, if not higher than God, on the same level as God. We as human beings, both male and female, we is not on the same level. We can't never say that God created us just like them. What we can say, God did create us, but God created us as a man and as a woman. Now, I totally disagree when he said that we made in the likeness and the image of God. Now, the reason I say this, right, because I want to give you a natural example when I say certain things, right? Michael Jordan, he created, he didn't create tennis shoes, but he came out with them Jordans, right? And he got his signature dunk thing, what he do on the shoes, right? But the shoes is not made in the image of Michael Jordan. Them just a pair of tennis shoes that he created. Picasso, he was one of the greatest artists that ever lived on earth. He did painting, right? So when he put his paint, he create all type of expensive artwork, right? The artwork that Picasso, I can't even say it, Picasso created, he didn't create it in the image of him. He created paintings. Only thing I'm trying to say, this is my last example, the Mercedes-Benz, the guy who created the Mercedes-Benz. He created the Mercedes car. He made a nice design automobile, but he did not create the car just like him. It's still his creation. We are God creation here on earth. But we can't say that God created us like them, both male and female. What we can say, God created us, but we don't know if we like them or not. I know 100% we not like them because at some point in time, our body going to expire. Whatever that they are created out of is live for eternity. It don't have no expiration date on it. Now I'm going to let you, Gino, talk to you a little bit while longer.
Created man in his own image.
And God formed man from the ground.
Took man from the ground.
And he blew into his nostrils the breath of life.
Into his nostrils the breath of life.
And man became a living soul.
Man. Not transgender.
No.
Not homosexual.
No.
Man.
Man became a living soul.
So, if man became a living soul, where did...
I like to stop it right here. I'm just going to say something real quick, right? When they do this format, when they're talking about God created Adam out the dirt and blow into his nostrils and made him a living soul, right? Then he'll go back and say that God never created transgender, homosexual, stuff like that. We already know that God created men and women. We already know that 100%. Now, what a man can be whatever he want to be here on earth, just like a woman can be whatever she want to be here on earth. We all knowing that that's a human behavior. We know it's something dealing with a human being. We can never put the blame on God, Satan, or no one else when a human being decide to be whatever they want to be. I am a man. If I choose to go out there and rob and steal, that would make me classify me as a robber. But I'm a man. God did not create no robber. Lucifer did not create no robber. That been something that I did on my own. That would have been something that I became. So we got to realize we can't put the blame on God when a man decides he wants to act like a woman. And we can't put the blame on God if a woman want to act like a man. We got to realize these people free will. They being whoever they want to be while they're here on earth. That's their right. And can't nobody take that away from no one.
The life of the homosexual began.
That's right.
Dear God, I want to take a route that folks have never thought of.
Yeah.
If man became a living soul, and if Eve, the woman, was taken from man,
And the Lord said,
then where did the life of the homosexual begin? I can see where the woman came from.
in the book of Joshua chapter 1.
That's right.
And verse 4. And the Lord caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept, and he took away one of his
He
ribs.
took away one of his ribs.
And he built flesh upon it.
Built flesh. Glory to God upon that rib.
And formed it.
Formed it.
And brought it to Adam.
Brought it. Keep pointing to the rib. Brought it to Adam.
And Adam awoke from his sleep.
And what?
And behold, a woman was standing before him.
All right. We done traced the origin of man. Where man come from.
That's right.
We done traced the origin of the female.
That's right.
Where she came from. Now we're going to trace the origin of homosexuality and show you where it came from.
That's right. That's right.
You can't say God made you. I'll blast it to hell, God knows.
That's right. In the book of Romans,
But
chapter 1.
it did come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Listen.
In the book of Romans, chapter 1, we'll start at verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Now you got ungodly men. Know what's right. They of the devil. Full of hell. But the Bible speaks plain what they hold.
For the wrath of God
They
is from
hold
heaven,
the truth
who hold the truth
in.
in unrighteousness.
They hold the truth and they wrong while they're holding it.
That's right.
That means they know better. Holding that truth and yet not implementing the truth they hold, then the truth condemns them.
That's right.
I want to soak you a little. Get this.
Verse 19.
That's what?
Because that which may be known of
That
God
which may be known of God
is manifest in them. For God.
Hold it. That
Which may be known
which
of God
may be known of God is seen in them.
is manifest
Is
in them.
seen in them.
That's right.
Because what?
For God has showed it unto them.
And yet they ungodly.
That's right.
Are you listening?
That's right.
The mindset of the homosexual. Listen to what I'm about to tell you now. I want to rattle your chain. The mindset, the spirit, the heart
Yes.
of the homosexual came
Yes.
from heaven. But it did not come from God. Glory to God.
I'd like to make a comment on that. He said the mind of a homosexual came from heaven, but it didn't come from God. Well, if he's saying that if it came from anybody in heaven, that means that did not God create everything? According to what he said? If God created everything, then I'm just going by what he's saying. Then that would make it came from God. If God created everything, if God created Lucifer, if God created Jesus, if God created the archangels, if God created everything, then that means that whatever God created, God might not manifest that, but by God created that, whatever created from that, then that means that it's just like we are human beings. I'm sorry. I'll stop for a minute. I'm just trying to get my mind just racing. We're human beings, right? In the Bible, they talk about Adam and Eve. He said on him that Eve was pulled out, which is in the Bible, a rib from Adam, right? Therefore, the whole creation came from Adam and Eve. So if he's saying that homosexual came from heaven and then came from God, he might well say all the human beings on this earth who came from Adam and Eve did not come from God. Because Adam and Eve started the population of the human beings, according to what he's saying. And then my parents never knew Adam and Eve. So I'm just saying it go down the line with everybody being born and rebirth. So Adam and Eve did not, I wasn't begotten by Eve. You see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is he need to stop lying to you all and tell you all the truth. All this stuff that he talk about, it sounds so good if you're looking at it from an intelligent point of view. But if you stop and put your common sense on the things he's saying, you'll know right off the rip he's lying to you. There's no impossible way. None of this stuff can happen the way that he's saying it happened in that biblical book. No kind of way.
Let me repeat myself, I said. The mind, the heart, the character, the thinking of the homosexual came from heaven, but not from God. So we say, well, if it ain't come from God, who else was up there? The devil.
That's right.
The homosexual often said, I am confused. The spirit of confusion was put out from heaven. God said, I am not the author. I am not the originator of confusion.
Again, that sound good. I would like to say this, and I'm going to let him go ahead and talk a little bit more. First of all, when he said that came from the devil, that's a lie. Number one, God even gave Lucifer free will. Whatever Lucifer done, it's on Lucifer. Not on me, you, and nobody else. God would deal with Lucifer according to whatever Lucifer done. Lucifer never created homosexual. Lucifer never created homosexual. Homosexual is something that a person decide to be on with their own free will. That's what God gave them. When God gave them a soul, he gave them free will. With their free will, they can become anything they want to become. And God will deal with that accordingly. Here go Gino. Here go Mr. Gino again, you all.
Homosexual, young and old. I don't know what I want to be. That spirit came from heaven.
That's right.
But not from God.
And the great dragon was cast out.
Yes, son.
Revelation chapter 12 and at verse 9. And
Homosexuality is one of the merchandise
that's right.
that was put out
That's right.
in the book of Ezekiel.
That's right.
It never said in Revelation, when he's talking about the dragon, the Satan, that it cast out homosexual. I'm just letting y'all know.
It's one of the merchandise.
Yeah.
Homosexual merchandise themselves.
That's right. In the book of Ezekiel.
Advertise themselves.
That's right.
Let's get Bible for this.
In Ezekiel chapter 28 and at verse 16.
Follow me.
We'll start at verse 14. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth.
Now, the Bible first established Lucifer's character.
That's right.
Lucifer was not always the devil.
That's right.
Some folks say, I thought the devil always was. You giving him too much credit and too much power.
Yeah.
The only one that always was is God.
That's right.
Lucifer is a created spirit. In the book of Hebrews is written, should we not rather be subject to the Father or the creator of spirits and live? God said, I create good and I create what? Evil. So evil.
Again, that's a man-made interpretation. No, that's a man-made interpretation. God only created good. Everything God created is good. Everything is good. Without the sun, there's no life on the planet, okay? Without the moon showing his light, without the star, without the ground, without the water, everything God manifests is good, even the human beings. Now, when stuff go haywire, listen, the sun got free will. If the sun want to fall out the sky with its own free will, then it have the right to do so. Okay? The moon, if the moon do not want to stay where it's at, it have right to fall. God gave the stars free will where they just sit up there in the sky. Anytime they want to drop, they can. What we have to understand, God created everything. God designed everything to be there. It's just like the water. It's more water than it is land here on earth. But why the water don't overtake the land and become all water? Because God created everything, and guess what? It gave it love. The water loved itself so much, it chose to stay with the water. It's just like you got salt water and you got the other kind of water. It don't mix because it chooses to stay with its kind. It's just like the bees. You got a blackjack, you got a wall. You don't see them interacting with going to live with each other because they choose to stay with their kind. It's just like when you look at the wilderness, you got the elephants, you got lions and bears, but they stay with their kind. God created us with love. That's why we stay with our kind. Whatever we become, it's like, I'm no racist person. I understand everything. I understand the whites want to be with the whites. The Chinese like to be with the Chinese. The Jews with the Jews. God created us with love. So once we see someone like us, we gravitate to it, and we mostly like to stay with that. And that's how we are, as people.
At a beginning. Someone said the good have a beginning. Yes, I know. Someone said, how can that be both? There's none good but one, and that one is God. So God don't have a beginning, but the good that is in the earth, that have a beginning. It started as a seed. That's why God told Adam, touch not the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So that good had a beginning, but the one that made the tree, that good is eternal.
That's right.
Are you getting the old man?
Amen.
Listen.
Ezekiel 28, we're at verse 14.
That's what?
Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so.
Yes.
Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire.
This is Lucifer before evil took him over.
That's right.
Before he was transformed.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to anybody of the human family. When the spirit of hell get in him or her, there's a great transformation.
That's right.
Listen.
At verse 15, thou wast perfect in thy ways.
God made Lucifer complete in his ways.
From the day that thou wast created.
The day you were created.
Till.
Wait a minute. Pause.
Till. Iniquity.
Sin.
Was found.
Evil. Wickedness was found.
In thee.
In thee.
By the multitude of thy merchandise.
Wait. I told you.
That's right.
By the multitude
Of thy merchandise.
of thine merchandise.
They had filled the midst of thee with violence, and thy sin.
The merchandise of Satan is the variations of the characteristics of Satan.
That's right.
The merchandise of Satan is the variations of the spirit of Satan.
That's right.
The merchandise of Satan is the variation of the mind of Satan.
Right.
The merchandise of Satan is the variations of the emotions of Satan.
Merchandise.
His character, his actions, it's called merchandise. And he distributes his character like product.
That's right.
Now, Gino is giving Satan too much power. Because number one, if God created Satan perfect, then how iniquity is found in Satan? If God create you something, ain't God is almighty, all powerful? So if Gino said that God created Satan perfect, that's what he just said. So how iniquity was found in Satan? How did sin start with Satan if God made Satan perfect?
And it takes over men and women all over the world. His character is in merchandise. So, it's like this homosexual rapper. The merchandise of Satan was in him. So now he want to create a product to advertise the merchandise of his heart and the merchandise of his mind because he's a son.
That's right.
Of a father.
That's right.
Not talking about earthly. The book says you are of your father, the devil.
The devil.
You are of
You are your father.
Listen.
St. John chapter 8 and verse 44. You are of your father.
Any of you rappers in California or any other part of the world don't like it? I would love to get you. You love to be on television anyway. Come on here.
That's right.
So I can give you a Bible beating.
That's right.
Many of you out there watching call me that old Bible thumper. Mm-hmm. What kind of man are you?
Hello.
You entertainers. What kind of man are you? That you would let your son put on a dress and get a photo shoot and advertise him on some magazine.
That's right.
Do you love money that much that you will sell your son's dignity? That you will put your daughters in child pornography?
That's right.
Do you love money that much? You see, when you love money and hate God, you're starting to sell your soul.
That's right.
You see, to truly serve God, you have to give God your soul. To truly serve Satan, you got to give Satan your soul. And just like God put in his people boldness to stand up for him,
That's right.
Satan put in his followers boldness
Oh, yeah.
to stand up for him.
1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 25. But there was none like unto Ahab.
There was none like Ahab.
Which did sell himself
He sold himself
to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord.
Have you sold your soul to Satan?
That's right.
Ye are of your father.
You are of your father the devil.
Chapter and verse.
St. John chapter 8 and verse 44.
And what?
You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father.
The lust. The want. The appetite
Of your father.
of the devil.
Ye will do.
You parents. What motivates you? You play this rap trash.
Yeah.
Foul mouth, cussing, rat trash.
That's right.
And then you want to chastise your son or daughter for this.
I like to comment on that, but I'm gonna go back a little bit and make a comment on something he just said. Let's see.
Not talking about earthly. The book says you are of your father,
The devil. The devil.
Ye are of
Ye are of your father.
Listen.
St. John chapter 8 and verse 44. You are of your father.
Any of you rappers in California or any other part of the world Don't like it? I would love to get you. You love to be on television anyway. Come on here.
That's right.
So I can give you a Bible beating.
That's right.
Many of you out there watching call me that old Bible thumper. Mm-hmm. What kind of man are you?
Hello.
You entertainers. What kind of man are you? That you would let your son put on a dress and get a photo shoot and advertise him on some magazine.
That's right.
Do you love money that much that you will sell your son's dignity? That you will put your daughters in child pornography?
That's right.
Do you love money that much? You see, when you love money and hate God, you're starting to sell your soul.
That's right.
Now that's why I wanted to start right there. Okay. Now, Gino, I wanted to comment on this, but I wanted to get to this part. When you hate God, when you hate the living God, then you're going to preach the God of the dead. You're going to preach from the biblical book that came from witchcraft, warlock. What was here first, the sun of the moon? He never referred to none of the stuff that God created that we all can see that's tangible. He never talked about that stuff. The only thing he talked about is a book that was created by man. The book came in like I don't even want to even guess, but I know it was around I want to say the 17th or the 16th century. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that's when the book came along, the biblical book came along. The word had already begun. God had already created stuff. We done had many generations here on earth had came and expired before this book was ever created. First of all, the biblical book can never be God's spoken word because when people was here at first, they couldn't even read or write. So they had common sense. They was dealing with their brains and their common sense that God gave them at birth. And that was got them through. But I want to go back to the father. Who Gino's father is the devil. He preaching the devil gospel. He leading people back to a slaughterhouse so they can lose their soul. He don't teach them how to pray in their name. He don't teach them how to introduce themselves to the divine living God, not the God of the dead. Gino is the devil himself.
You see, to truly serve God, you have to give God your soul. To truly serve Satan,
Yes.
you got to give Satan your soul. And just...
Did you just hear what he just said? He said, to serve God, you got to give him your soul. To serve Satan, you have to give him your soul. That's not true. Number one, your soul belongs to you. Now, if God want your soul, want you to bring it back, once you introduce God and God examine your soul, then you will be welcome back home. But if that's not the case, your soul can become a spirit and never even get presented to God with your own free will. You can choose to worship man-made religions here on earth and your soul will be bound here. He's not telling you that.
like God putting his people boldness to stand up for him.
That's right.
Satan putting his followers boldness
Oh, yeah.
to stand up for him.
1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 25. But there was none like unto Ahab.
There was none like Ahab.
Which did sell himself.
He sold himself
To work wickedness.
In
the sight of the Lord.
Have you sold your soul to Satan?
That's right.
Ye are of your father.
Ye are of your father the devil.
Chapter and verse.
St. John chapter 8 and verse 44.
And what?
Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father.
The lust, the want, the appetite
Of your father.
of the devil.
Ye will do.
You parents,
Better watch out for him, you all.
what motivates you to play this rap trash?
Yeah.
Foul mouth, cussing rap trash.
That's right.
And then you want to chastise your son or daughter for disrespecting you verbally and disrespecting the mother? The music encourages disrespect.
That's right.
The music changed the ear and train to mind to think disrespectfully.
For they went astray very far.
Listen.
In the book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 24.
They went astray
Very far.
very far
In the ways of error.
in the ways of error
And held them for God.
and held the error for what?
For God.
They want.
Now, I just want to stop it right there. I've been on this a little too long. Hey, my name is Willie Thomas from Atlanta, Georgia. Keep subscribing to my channel. Let's expose people like Gino. Let's let people know that if you follow this kind of teaching, whether it's Gino, Augustine, Creflo Dollar, TV Jane, this the wrong teaching. Should nobody be teaching this? Nobody in the world should be teaching this kind of doctrine. They need to be telling people the truth. That's why the whole world believes in lies right now. If I come up to a woman right now and tell her all kind of lies, how beautiful she is, how pretty she is, how good she is, how she the love of my life and stuff, just lies, she gonna deal with me. But if I came up on her and told her her flaws, oh, she can't stand me, she'll hate me. You see what I'm saying? This world is built upon lies, of course it is. Of course it is. Keep on subscribing to my channel. My name is Willie Thomas from Atlanta, Georgia. And may the living God keep us. Bye-bye.